We're very fortunate today to be joined by Mayor Andy Ginther. I don't know whether, Andy, you're up there yet or not, but you will. Andy, how you doing? Mayor?
Doing great, Governor.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
The mayor is in our call every day at 11:30, where we talk to many of the mayors of the state, and I just want to thank Mayor Ginther, but also every other mayor, big and small size communities, because they've been very, very helpful as we go through this. They've been kind of our eyes and ears out there and reporting what they're seeing, what we can do better, what we're not doing well. And these conversations are really very, very helpful, I know, to me, and I think they're probably also sure helpful to the people of the state of Ohio, and that we come up with better policies. The mayor and I first, we've worked together on a number of things over the years, but probably the most difficult thing we had to work on was the Arnold Classic. And Mayor, that was not an easy decision for any of us, and it was early on in this epidemic, and we had to make the decision not to have spectators there, which was a very, very difficult decision. The mayor's going to talk about anything he wants to today, but one of the things I know he's going to talk about is kind of the build out as we work to make sure that we have the hospital capacity in the state of Ohio. And Mayor, before you talk about what you're doing, I just want to read through what some other communities are doing. In Cleveland, Case Western University's Health Education Campus is the place where that build out is occurring. The Duke Energy Convention Center is where it is in Hamilton County. Those two, coupled with the Greater Columbus Convention Center in Franklin County, are where you're going to see and are seeing activity go on, just to make sure that this epidemic does not flood our hospitals to the point where they no longer have space. Candidly, we hope we never have to use these. And the good work that all the citizens of Ohio are doing is really, really making a difference. The other locations that we talked about, we announced in the location of 3 additional sites, and we're really holding these in reserve if they should be needed. This is Seagate Convention Center in Lucas County, the Dayton Convention Center in Montgomery County, and Covelli Convention Center in the Mahoning County as well. Healthcare regions in southern Ohio and southeast Ohio have determined the existing hospital facilities in their areas will, with additional equipment, be able to handle the surge in patients without going to an off-site location. So, Mayor, we will turn it over to you. How are things going in that regard, and anything else you want to share with us today?
Well, thank you, Governor, for the chance to join you and share with you an update on the Alternative Care Center here at Columbus. The president of our Franklin County Commission, John O'Grady, and I had the opportunity to tour the site yesterday, and just an incredible example. We call it here in Columbus and Central Ohio the Columbus Way, because we believe we do public-private partnerships better here than anywhere in the country. And so to have 4 health systems, the 3 adult systems in consultation with our nationwide children's hospital, to come together to help stand up in a 2-week period, 1,000-bed alternative care center is pretty unprecedented. In fact, we're getting calls from communities around the state and the country on how we've gone about this. And it's the incredible leadership of Ohio Health and Ohio State, Carmel. And we are really proud of the work that's been done here. And I got to tell you, Lieutenant Colonel Buchanan has been outstanding. The National Guard, in partnership with the city, the county, and the state, have made a Herculean effort here. And I think we're well prepared. Based on the proposed number of cases being much lower than originally anticipated because of the bold, courageous decisions made by you and Dr. Acton with stay-at-home orders and social distancing, our greatest hope and goal Probably our greatest victory as a community is if we never had to open the alternative care center, but it is incumbent upon us as leaders to be prepared for that and want to make sure that we're protecting the health and safety of our residents here in Central Ohio, and the mayor's working with you and your team to set these sites up throughout the state. You know, one thing that we have been reminded of during this crisis is how that Columbus way is so important. You know, collaboration and focusing on the common good. You've talked at length about the incredible leadership of Lou Bonther and his colleagues at Battelle, you know, with Mike Kaufman at Cardinal Health, Abbott Labs, Ohio State, you know, 3 companies here locally, IC3D and Rogue, that pivoted from their traditional manufacturing and production to helping to produce PPEs for our frontline healthcare workers to protect them. Middle West and Watershed moved from making spirits to hand sanitizer, again, for our frontline workers, our police officers, our firefighters. So we're really, really proud of the way that Central Ohioans, Buckeyes across the state, have really taken to heart their personal role and responsibility in helping us slow the spread and let our frontline workers do their jobs and help serve the people of this community. Obviously, cities, particularly our metro economies throughout the state that help drive the economy of the state, are looking forward to the future and the reopening of our city. But I have to echo what the governor and Dr. Acton and Dr. Roberts has said here locally, that we have to really be listening to our doctors, our medical experts, our public health leaders to make sure that we open gradually and thoughtfully. One of our greatest restaurateurs and native sons, Cameron Mitchell, has said, and I've heard this echoed from businesses across the community, that they have the wherewithal and the capacity to reopen once. And so we must be very thoughtful and reflective in making sure we're following the lead of our medical and public health experts to make sure that we do this the right way to avoid, you know, a second surge or other things in the future. You know, we've got to maintain our good hygiene practices and social distancing that is shown to be so effective thus far with slowing the spread. And I know it's hard. It's been hard on families throughout the state. We know many people in our community are suffering. We know the disproportionate negative health impact on African Americans here in Columbus and across the state. You know, these health disparities during a health crisis like this really come to light. So continuing to focus on those disparities and knowing that there are people right now in our community and in communities around the state that are suffering. So with this recovery, we have to be mindful it isn't just the public health crisis. There's going to also be a human service crisis and then a recovery. And so knowing that there's not an even tidy start and stop to those, all 3 things may very well be happening at the same time. But if we don't handle the public health crisis, the other 2 really cannot be addressed. And so I just want to thank the governor, Dr. Acton, Dr. Mashika Roberts here on a local level, continuing to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to slow the spread, listen and follow, you know, our medical experts, the leaders of our health systems, and understanding that the best way to reopen the economy and to bring back a recovery throughout the state is to make sure we deal with this health crisis that stands before us.
Well, Mayor, thank you very much. That is inspirational and hopeful, but it's also, I think you laid out very well really what our charge is and kind of the challenges that we face. And I personally look forward to continuing to work with you and the other mayors around the state in that partnership. It's been a great partnership, and so far so good in the sense that we've been able to slow puts this curve down, and now we're planning to how we start back up. So look forward to working with you, Mayor, and congratulations to you and your team for putting that together in 2 weeks. That's quite amazing. As you say, let's hope we don't have to use it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. We appreciate it.
Thank you.